Hi, thanks for joining me. It's Crystal Star from Starlight Work Circle back again with another update. And in this video, I am looking at the 2nd of the 2nd, 2022. And I'm also looking at this in relation to 4th and 5th density and the Schuman resonance. So let's not hang about. Let's get straight on with it. Now, if you've been following me, you will know I've already done a video about the 2nd of the 2nd, 2022, obviously an important date. And I've already looked at the numerology of this particular date, including the angel numbers. It will be in my update playlist if you want to go and find that. I'll try and remember to put a link in the box below as well, in the description below as well. But I did want to discuss with you my experiences and the information I gained about this particular date and on this particular date and around this particular date, because I wanted to find out whether anybody else had had any similar downloads or similar experiences. Some of the things that I am going to be sharing here, I know that a lot of other people have been experiencing. So I'm not quite so sure about. The first most important thing that I wanted to share was that I had heard that on the 2nd of the 2nd, 2022, there would be a portal opening. Now, what this meant, I didn't actually know. I didn't know whether it was a time portal or a space portal or a time-space portal, but it turned out to be none of these things. Well, kind of. It turned out for me, at least, to be a portal into the 4th density. Now, I'm calling it density rather than dimension, because I know people get confused over dimensions, because obviously we have the 3 dimensions, length, width and height, and then we have the 4th dimension, which is time. And I know in terms of planes of existence, a dimension is a density, and any of these terms could be used. But obviously with this confusion around dimensions, I just prefer to use the term density, which is obviously what it is. It's a density of energy. Anyway, on this particular date, I had been experiencing a heightened level of aches and pains, and I know a lot of people have been experiencing these aches and pains as well, in the body, and headaches, anxiety, insomnia. I'm not a doctor. I'm not telling you not to go to a doctor if you feel that's what is best for you. You obviously have to follow your own guidance, not telling anybody what to do. But I know a lot of highly energetic, highly resonant people, light workers, empaths, starseeds, are feeling a lot of aches and pains, and I'm going to be getting onto that in a second. However, I do just want to look at the opening of this portal. The reason I'm bringing this up is because I know a lot of people were feeling all these aches and pains coming up to this date, but also after this date as well. And like I said, I'm going to look at that in a second. On this particular date, however, I did experience a lot of extra energy around, heightened energies, headache and insomnia. The information that was guided to me was that the portal had opened up between the 3rd and the 4th densities. I didn't understand, I didn't know what the transition from 3rd to 4th density was going to look like. I certainly didn't expect it to look like this. But a portal had opened up between the 3rd and 4th densities. The information that was brought to me was that just as we exist on divergent timelines, we also exist in different densities. And this, upon thinking about it, made absolute complete sense. If we are part of source energy, if we are part of God, then we exist in a immutable and eternal state within God, outside of time and space. And if that is so, then we must exist within every plane of existence also. It made complete sense, because as our higher self, we contain all of the different possibilities, all of the different timelines within the higher self. But wouldn't it also make sense that the higher self contains all the higher density beings of ourselves as well? Another interesting piece of information that was brought to me as well was about the Blue Brain Project, I think it's called. This was explained to me, and so I didn't research it. Hands up if I'm wrong about this. But my understanding is there was a technology built that could analyse the brain in much more depth than has ever been done before. And upon analysing the brain, it was discovered some people have fourth and fifth density structures in their brains. Some people have sixth and seventh density structures in their brains, and so on. Now, I don't know how this works, but it does kind of support the idea that we are already within these other densities at the same time. What this means on a practical level is it may change the way that we access fourth density, because we're already there. Now, I had it explained to me like this. We are immutable, eternal, loving entities, part of source energy. We have been on third density, and we have been held here by lower density entities, and it's like holding a cork under the water. You have to hold the cork under the water. If you let go of the cork's going to float back to the top, and that's exactly what happens to us. We are loving, eternal parts of source energy. That's what we are by nature, and we will naturally gravitate towards that. And as we are part of that, as we are part of different densities already, it's merely a merging rather than a leaping. It's not something that we have to become, it's something we have to allow. This doesn't mean we don't have to work at it. That's what the Starlight Work Circle's all about guiding you towards that. And we're all on this journey together. Then I was also guided that just as we are on all the different densities leading upwards back to source, so is Gaia also already on the different densities leading back to source. So Gaia, Mother Earth, already exists in fourth density. She exists in third density as well. Obviously, she's moving up to fourth density. Now, what that actual transition will look like and what will happen to the entities that don't make that transition, I'm not actually sure yet. I've put the call out to answer that question to the universe. Obviously, the universe will answer me when they are ready to do so. And as soon as I get that information, I promise I will share that with you. Now, we know from Project Looking Glass, as well as other sources, of course, that the timelines have been converging at this point, because obviously we're entering galactic centre. There can only be one outcome here. The outcome is already decided and assured. But we know this causes converging timelines. And much like diverging timelines, we don't really feel anything. We're just getting on with our life. One timeline goes one way and one timeline goes another way. And now, as we go in the opposite way, the timelines are, of course, joining again. My experience of this is all of a sudden having knowledge of alternate timelines. What happened to those diverging timelines, the different paths that we took, the different choices that we made? What impact did that have on us, and what impact did that have on the world as a whole? We suddenly have information that we never had before. And of course, the Starlight Work Circle is all about raising your energy to get into that fourth density energy. And obviously it's a process. But like I said, I did want to look at some of the experiences some of us light workers and empaths and star seeds and other sensitive people are experiencing right now. And I know a lot of people are experiencing a lot more aches and pains, headaches, insomnia, a lot of intensified energies. Another experience is anxiety, but also ringing in the ears. And the answer that was brought to me in terms of light work was this. I was led to some information. I've never heard of this before, but it's called the Schuman resonance. What the Schuman resonance apparently is a measurement of the Earth's energy. Now, I don't know how they do this, but they measure it in hertz. I'm not sure of the details. All I know is that the Schuman resonance measures the energy of the Earth, the energy of the Earth's energy, the Earth's aura, the Earth's energy body. Now, I know that the Earth's energy had to be turned down at some point in the history. I'll be looking at this obviously in the real history of the Earth and why that happened and how that happened. But we know now that the energy of Gaia as Earth has been turned back on. We also know that obviously the energy of the people of the Earth is raising very, very rapidly, partly due to the removal of those lower vibrational entities and their work in suppressing us or keeping us down, partly due to our galactic family and helpers who are sending beautiful, loving energy to us right now, beautiful, loving, supportive energy to us right now. The energy is obviously raised, and this has actually been measured. Now, it's all about numbers. I don't remember numbers. I'm not good at numbers, so I'll have to read it off here. Apparently, for centuries, and I could be wrong about that, let me know in the comments if I'm wrong, the Schumann resonance has been 7.83 to 7.86 hertz, depending on who you ask. But recently, it's been averaging out at 23 to 28 hertz. Now, that's quite a leap, especially if you're sensitive to energy. That's quite a leap there. It's also been spiking up at over 200 hertz. So you can imagine if you're sensitive to energy, that's quite a leap. Now, according to Alex Collier, this is causing us to, or allowing us to, expand our light body. I could be wrong about the exact words here, but this is how I understand it. This will help us return to our 12-strand DNA and will allow us to be able to, like I say, to hold more light and move up into 4th density. Obviously, it will make life a lot better for us as well. And it's because of these raised energies and this situation that we are getting all of these aches and pains, etc. Like I say, I'm not a doctor, so if you want medical advice, you need to go and see a doctor. I'm a light worker. I'm discussing energy only. But I know a lot of people have been discussing this and exchanging their experiences of this, and I would love to hear your experience of this too. So if you'd like to leave a comment, please do so, and I will answer all the comments that I possibly can. My guidance is that these aches and pains are all about blocks that we need to remove. It's about blocked energies. What I was led to was that the chakra closest to the ache is going to be associated with the block. For example, I had a headache a couple of days right on the top of my head. Yes, right next to my crown chakra. And once I realised this was because I was blocking absolute connection with divine source, I was able to release that and the headache went. Obviously, you have to look at where the ache and pain is, and obviously you have to look at the chakra closest to that and what could be blocking that. I was guided to the information that when we get ringing in the ears as light workers, it is actually a higher vibrational entity trying to communicate with us. However, I've now been led to believe that this is due to the increased energies. Now, I'm not saying one or the other is right or wrong. What I'm saying is these two things are not necessarily mutually exclusive. It could be both. Now, I know things are moving so very, very quickly for us light workers, especially in terms of the raising of the energies. And it can be hard to discuss this with other people because not everybody's going to understand this. And we can indeed feel very, very lonely, can't us? As light workers, when people don't understand what it is we're saying or what it is we're experiencing or what it is we're trying to express. Please don't feel alone. I made this video to give my experiences so that you can understand that if you're experiencing the same things, then you are not alone. If you would like to leave a comment below with your experiences, I would love to hear from you, and I'm sure I'm not the only one. Now, I really don't know what the 22nd of the 2nd, 2022 is going to hold. Certainly the 2nd of the 2nd was a little bit of an eye-opener for me. I wasn't expecting what was coming. Like I said, I've already done my numerology and angel numbers for these two dates. So go along to my playlist and you'll find that video there. I may possibly do a video about the 22nd of the 2nd after it's happened, depending on how momentous anything is that happens, and let you know what's going on there. Thank you so much for joining me. If you want to find out more about me, go to my website, starlightworkcircle.com. The link will be below. You can join me on any of my social media. All the links will be below. I've just got a new Telegram account channel. Also, please, usual, like, subscribe, press the bell, share, and join me please in my next video, which is going to be my love challenge. It's all about getting into and staying in the energy and the vibration of love. So important as we're moving into 4th and 5th density. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope to see you again. Thanks for joining me. Bye.